actually been in here before, so it'll be really interesting to see how this turns out. I'm excited though. There's all the rest of them on the side. So yep, now we'll just wait until the event starts.
For the guests coming to Halloween Horror Nights at the Universal, we like to create a full experience. We are their nightmares.
Halloween Horror Nights is the biggest rock and roll, horror-in-your-face spectacle.
We want our guests to feel as if they've left the real world behind and now they're living a horror movie. So it's pretty intense.
We built 360-degree environments. Every nook and cranny was designed to scare the living daylights out of our guests.
Doing masks and makeup, we are the visual. We get to bring the horrors to life.
This is where all the bad stuff happens.
Our sound, the lighting, special effects, the scenic and decor, our characters, all come together to form an amazingly horrific marriage that makes up what Halloween Horror Nights wants to be. And that's completely terrifying.
How you guys doing? There's a lot of you. All right.
So many.
Yes. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
Yes.
My name is Blake Braswell. I'm show director for the Scare Zones for Creative Development.
I'm Charles Gray, show director for creative development with the houses this year.
I am Mike Aiello.
I'm
I'm David Hughes. I am the manager of the scenic design department.
Cool. I feel like we could scoot our chairs closer.
Can we?
Yeah. Are we letting them get a little closer to you guys? Okay, I don't smell too bad.
We good?
All right. Okay.
Oh, what did I sit on?
Let's get comfy for a moment.
So let's just go over the events. You want to talk about the streets?
Yeah, so for the Scare Zones this year, we've got our 5 Scare Zones, plus we have our roaming horde. So for those, who is here, who's already been? Okay, who hasn't been? Okay, so there are a few. Okay, I'll just ask that instead. So
the rest of you go and we'll talk.
He was trying to get this. So for walking in first, you've got the Anarcade area, which is in our Avenue of the Stars. So Anarcade, this idea was kind of imagine a post-apocalyptic society where all they found was parts of a functioning 80s arcade and worshipped it and built a society around it, right? That's what's in my noggin. So that's kind of what you experience out there. It's this weird, twisted 80s neon-fueled arcade with characters that light up and glow. The weapons light up and glow. My favorite thing are the chainsaws with LED lights around them so that they make the UV paint on there just pop. And the soundtrack is awesome in there. And there's plenty of fun little video game stuff. If you're a video game nerd, listen for a little while. There's some fun stuff threaded throughout there for little Easter eggs. And then over in Hollywood, another original zone, we got Vanity Ball, which is turning out to be a fun place to go hang out and jam to some tunes. So for this area, the idea is it's pleasure is pain. You've got this elite group of people that they have these crazy artistic parties where they just push art to the limit. And so now, the body is the canvas, and the surgeons are the main stars of this party as they rip people up, take parts from other people, and turn people into living works of art. And we actually managed to get a very, very large runway smack in the middle of the street. So there's a battle off, a fashion battle, runway battle, to see which designer is the best, Dr. Plasmare or Dr. Metamorph. Love those names. Plasmare is Italian for change, but Metamorph is, you know what that is. Let's see. Other original zone we've got in Central Park, Vikings Undead. So it's all, we said the 80s were coming to get you. It's just the 980s. So thank you. I'm a history nerd. Actually, I think most of us who work here are. And so we really kind of mine some of the Norse mythology and stuff to bring forth stuff like a draugr, which is a creature in Norse mythology where it's a zombie. That's exactly what it is. So these warriors have refused to enter the halls of Valhalla, so they're out there just spreading mayhem. And we've got our draugr warriors. We've got our ladies, the Valkyrie warriors that are undead out there, as well as some Jotnar, which are some ogres that are out there on stilts. And then a fun thing that the Vikings used to do called the blood eagle torture, where you cut someone's back open and hold it open while they're alive, real thin, so they stay alive, and then you tick and slowly crack each rib and crack it open so they're a nice eagle. It's a fun craft. Viking, look up history of Viking stuff. It's way grosser than anything they put on film at this point. And then for the intellectual, I should say, and then our roaming, they kind of tie into our Anarcade area. So they've got, we went bananas because I like the glowing chainsaws so much. So all the chainsaws have these lights that, if you watch them, they actually react to sound. And the cast is able to kind of adjust to how they want to do it, what colors they run or change to or whatever, so there's some variety across there. And they've got a bunch of light up pieces on their armor as well. And then heading over to San Francisco is our first IP zone, Rob Zombie Hellbilly Deluxe. This zone makes me super happy. I hung out there a lot last night, as did a ton of people. I don't think we've ever stuffed as much scenic into that zone. It was Dylan Colath who was our scenic designer for that zone, and it is full. And it's awesome. When I was handed that zone to work on, because it's not like it's a movie or something with a story that goes through, at first I didn't know what we were going to do, and we started combing through all the videos, and Rob Zombie just has so many good creatures and characters and themes in each of his videos that we were able to bring those to life, and they fit in HHN so well. And then our final IP over in New York, we have Zombieland Double Tap. So this is mostly based on the first film, Zombieland, where it's all about learning the rules to survive in Zombieland. But there are a few little Easter eggs from the second film that'll be coming out, Zombieland Double Tap, that'll come, I think it's October 17th. That one's coming out. But this zone was a ton of fun because the zombies in the film are very aggressive zombies. They're not the slow movers, so it gives our chance for the cast to really play that up. Plus, in this film, unlike other horror zombie films where it's really about the excitement sometimes is of watching the zombies attack the people, and in that film it's much different. It celebrates taking all the zombies out. So that's what we actually brought in some stunt performers, and so throughout the night we got our stunt performers taking out a group of zombies that finish off with a nasty clown zombie at the very end. Because you got to see who's going to win Zombie Kill of the Week, and that's the scare zones for HHN 29.
Nice, so exciting. I'll go ahead and cover houses if you want to cover streets.
No.
So, do streets again? Yeah, no, shows. So let's start at 10-3, and if you don't know where 10-3 is, that's by the Men in Black, and between that and Fear Factor, and that's House of a Thousand Corpses, and that is dirty, disgusting, smelly, oily, nasty. It's the film. It's like see, all the characters are there, and so we most definitely are not going soft. It is like a very intense run. And if you've been through 10-3 in the past, for some odd reason here that we had Vortex Tunnel or different things like that, it seemed a little shorter. This one's really long, a very long trek through there, and very tight corridors. And then in Shrek, we have Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and yes, woo! Yeah. It was so much fun last year in the streets, man. It was awesome. And how many of you were out there in the streets with the Killer Clowns? Yeah, so it was so much fun. It was this big party, and then they were getting some scares in there too. But it was sort of like that fun interactive thing. And so what we did is we still have the ice cream truck out there in front of the Brown Derby, and then we still have picture opportunities out there, photo opportunities. But then, and that's just to let your guard down, right? You're still happy. I saw the clowns, we're happy, we're walking, and then they all attack you in these tight corridors inside. So a lot of times we do chronological order. this time we're doing things by scenic order. So everything that takes place in the street, all the street moments are one scene. All the residential moments are one scene. All the
Spaceship.
Spaceship, tent. Yeah, what are you gonna do with those pies, boys? All that's in there. So
I
you
wanted
guys
that
love
melted sundae. I couldn't get it last year. I'm glad you got it.
Yes, and don't eat it because it's not real.
No. Found that out the hard way.
Yes. And then let's go to the backside, which is really strong this year. You know, it's I feel like I was kind of watching. You kind of watch the guests as they go through and like which direction they go. I think a lot of people are being pulled to that side actually first because there's so much strong content over there in the tents. Patrick Braylard and I kind of split the house design between the two of us with concept with the scenic team. And so he has Blood Pit, Nightingale's Blood Pit in tent 1. And I think it was, 2011? Was the Nightingale's first time. It was real popular. And then we were like, oh, we got these gladiators. It's like peanut butter and jelly. It was like gladiators and Nightingales. There we go. All right. So it's very, very bloody, very, very smelly. And it takes place in the Hippogeum underneath Gladiator Arena. So it's
History nerds again.
Again, history nerds. Like, what about that? Tent 2 is Depths of Fear, and that has a really fun lead-up video. So when you walk in, basically it's telling you that you as the guest are the rescue team to go down there deep in the ocean and rescue these people who are in the mining facility. And he's basically saying, don't send the team, don't send the team.
Too late, we sent the team.
Yeah, we sent the team, that's you guys. And then they're like, oh, the creature's loose, it's killing everyone. Don't send the team. And then the surface level's like, and we're going to blow up the facility so the creature doesn't get out. And then,
Sorry,
then you walk in. So we've set you up for success. So not only do you have to contend with this massive creature, also, it's a mouth brooder, so it spews eggs, which has acid in it, so it hits you, and it hits you, and then the eggs start eating your flesh, and then they grow and they sprout these little adolescent baby eel-like eggs, or creatures, so they're after you, and then the massive creatures after you. And on top of the whole thing, the hosts that have the eggs are driven insane, and they're looking for more flesh to eat, to feed the babies. So that's you guys. It's coming after you, so be delicious. And then the hosts are after you. And then on top of it all, we have 4 minutes to get through before the whole place explodes. So it's a very intense, very fun tent.
Pay attention, there's a lot of story in there that these two cameo in.
Oh yeah, there's some
Stuff that you...
Patrick Brother gets ripped in half.
I think it does.
Yeah, he does. Because we love him.
So does my dog.
So does your dog. Yeah. Oh, wait. This doesn't get
you gave it away!
I think everybody here's been here already.
All right, fine.
There were like 7 people there. Don't forget.
Yeah. We take everybody out. Everybody. It's like those late 80s movies like, what was it, Deep Star 6, Leviathan, all those ones were kind of like, oh yeah, I love this kind of movies where they just keep knocking off everybody.
Who survives?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Not even you. And then we go over to 108, which is Universal Monsters. Yes. No, and there's a very big distinction there. It's not classic monsters.
Right, no,
it's Universal Monsters. We invented them. And those characters are a part of our history. And so we redesigned a lot of the looks. And I have to say the Frankenstein's the best it has ever looked, in my opinion. It does look like a reanimated corpse. Parts of it are missing. You see parts of his jaw and his teeth. It looks very ferocious. All the characters great. And we got the Gill Man. Come on, Creature from the Black Lagoon. That's where I nerded out. I'm like, where did we get that guy? All right, so it's really cool. It's an amazing, your team did an amazing job on that house, man. It's awesome. B79 is Graveyard Games. Yes.
Yeah.
If you don't know, Social dropped it's a Facebook Messenger app. Check out the UO HHN Orlando on the Twitters or Social. You can click on that and it should send you to, it's kind of like a chatbot type thing where you can go through and you can talk to the grandfather or the kid and just find out all the backstory. I wrote like a little short story and like, super nerd, like, oh, there's lots of backstories for like all the different people buried in there and what happened to them, how they ended up there, their curses, all the different things in there. So it's a lot of fun. The glowing mother comes to life to protect the cemetery, which takes place in Ascension Parish, Louisiana. And Yeah, so it's a lot of fun.
It's as Nick Collins, the designer of that house, says, it's Halloween comfort food.
Yes.
It's exactly what you want around a Halloween event.
Absolutely.
It feels right. It feels right. It's delicious.
But it is really gorgeous in there. The decor team did an amazing job. I mean, it's amazing what Spanish moss can do.
Yes.
It really is. So that's been really good. And the performers in there, when you go through, just applaud them because they are acting like it's week 4. Like you can tell from first day to like mid-run, you can see how the performers are acting to their triggers. And I think we got a lot of vets in there or something because right off the bat they're like, whoa, gosh, no notes for you. You're scaring me. And then we make our way over to sound stages, and we have our last original, which is Yeti Terror of the Yukon. And we got some big fellas in there. Little funny stories. Mike Allo does not get scared usually.
No.
Most of us don't because we go, okay, he got scared 4 times. 4 times. It was awesome.
Little surprises around every corner.
Around every corner. But yeah, it's a lot of fun in there. And there's some little Easter egg kind of comedy things happening there too, which is a lot of fun. And then we have Us, Jordan Peele's Us. And this is a bit of an experiment because really instead of, you boo and skidoo and jump out and get you, there's a lot of pops, but it really is walking through the movie. It's walking through the choreography of the movie in a lot of ways. And I think it's being well received in that way. I think people are like, oh, it's walking through the play.
Yeah.
If we were doing a play and you were actually walking in the middle of scenes on a play. So don't really go out there and do that. But
we sent part of our cast through that weren't from that house, obviously, to experience it as they all walk out. They're like, okay, yeah, that works.
Yeah,
that works.
And I think that's a testament that there is different types of fear out there. You know what I mean? It's not just always... there's that creep factor, and it's fun that we can bring the creep factor to suspense, that kind of thing. So, this is possible. This is really fun.
The soundtrack for that movie is so good throughout the whole maze. Like, this is just put you on edge.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then we go to. Sorry, it's late. Is it? So we go to. We've been up for 48 hours. So we go to. Ghostbusters, which is our love. Man,
we talked about that for years.
We did,
and in all different types of ways of representing it too. And it's
absolutely. And we still, when we found out we could do it, we're still like, can we do this?
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
So if you guys have questions, I won't talk too deep into that one because if you guys have questions, we can answer those. But it is our love letter to that movie. We just love it. Stranger Things, season 2 and 3. It is a long house, and what I love about it is for those of you who come night after night, you're all annual pass holders. You come a lot and to this event, and you're like, you have that rhythm. Like, when scene 10's there, you kind of get that rhythm. Like, the house should be done. There's people halfway through the thing like, is it done yet? They're like, no, there's a lot more to go, buddy. So season 2 and 3, and it gives us a wide variety of characters too, and you can kind of see, Hopper in different looks and 11 in different looks and all the fun characters. And we created the largest puppet we've ever created.
It's big.
It's huge, huge, and that's all I'll say. So
that's all the houses, right?
That's
all 10?
All 10.
All 10, awesome.
Let's talk about pizza fries.
Let's talk about pizza fries. Who likes pizza fries?
Woo! Did you see they got dessert pizza fries?
Did they have a s'mores one or something?
Yeah.
Who tried that?
That person right there.
How was it?
It was okay. It was better if the sweet potato fries were actually churro fries.
Oh.
That's just sinful.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Churro fries covered.
Oh my gosh, I do too.
They're in charge of food.
We're going to talk to you later.
That's not good. Now I can't get churro fries out of my mind. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the 2 shows that we have. The first being I always get it wrong, it's Marathon of Halloween's Marathon of Mayhem, right? Is that it? Oh, okay, good. That's all I can. That is on our lagoon out in the middle of the park. It runs 3 times a night, I believe, and it is a multimedia laser video fountain color projection music extravaganza.
It's everything.
It is everything. It focuses on the houses and houses mainly, right?
Yeah, they're
the themes: the Ghostbusters, Stranger Things, Killer Clowns, Universal Monsters. Did I miss anything? I don't know there. But it is amazing. Jason Horn directed that, and it is a compilation of video, but all the video has a sort of 80s graphic slant to it, so it's not just the film being projected on water screen. So if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's down by the lagoon. It's sort of a standing room only sort of thing, and again runs 3 times a night. And it's the entrance is over by Mel's Circle, so it's about a 15 to 18 minute show.
No, it's about 9.5 minutes.
Oh, 9.5 minutes. Okay, sorry.
I got you.
He knows.
I know. Because it butts up to my scare zone.
Yeah.
I just figure out what the time is.
Keep it short, Jason. Keep it short. We got Vikings out here.
That's Vikings, man.
But it's awesome. Check that out. The other show, if you've been to the event in the past 4 years, you've probably seen them. Academy of Villains is returning with a new, bigger, awesome show, which is sort of centers around a Jekyll and Hyde-esque sort of storyline, sort of in a Victorian era setting. The theater itself is bigger. I mean, the set is bigger than anything we've ever done in Fear Factor before. It is massive. Anybody seen the show yet? Yeah, good, yes. What I love I loved Cyberpunk last year, but what I love more about this particular show is it even feels more like our Halloween brand. The performers are outrageous. The contortionist phonetics is, it doesn't look real. It looks like some weird CGI creation. It's just completely contorted, and it's like, I didn't know the arm could twist 3 times around the shoulder socket without falling off.
It's not supposed to.
It's not supposed to. So go see that, and go see it a couple times, because there's so much going on. Even through rehearsals, there's something going on up here, and there's something going down here. You just sort of have to look all around to see everything that they're doing. And I just got to throw a shout out to AOV. The group themselves are amazing. They have the best work ethic. They are in the best shape it's amazing how hard these people work, and they just love putting on that show. So when you guys get out there and scream and whoop it up, that feeds them, and you'll just get an even more intense show from them. So make sure you go see that at least 2 or 3 times.
Absolutely. I think once this whole event's over and AOV goes back home, we should just keep the setup and do like Oliver Twist.
Yeah, I'm with that. Oliver Twist, anything set in London.
Yeah. So that's the event, and we know some of you have some questions, so...
We hope you have questions. Lots of questions. We'll answer.
If you don't, we're going to go get some pizza fries.
Churro fries.
Churro.
So we have a couple people out here with mics, so if you have a question, just please raise your hand, please, and they'll run over and we'll answer, like I said, anything you have. Don't be shy. Someone be first. Right here. We got, where's our, I'm sorry, we got one down here. Go ahead. Okay. Yep.
Hit it.
How do you decide when you're going through like the list of scare zones and houses, which ones should be houses versus scare zones?
We'll start. Well, I'll just give you a little brief overview of how we develop the event. Typically, we start with houses, simply because those are the things that take the longest. They take a full year to develop. Just to fill you in, we're going to take Monday through Friday. We're going to be here at work, but we're kind of just stop thinking about Halloween if we can for a week. The following week, we start next year. We start our HHN 30. Woo! So we will spend several months just sitting around developing the ideas for the houses. Some of them will be the intellectual properties, our like Stranger Things and Ghostbusters, all of those. And then we'll come up with our original houses as well during that time. Streets usually starts a little later, although we try to get it as early as possible. I think this year we started January, February? Was it?
Yeah, but when they start their beginning conceptual, I'll kind of jump in and get a feel for where the event is going on the house front, and plus with the IPs, and the same thing. Sometimes we actually might know the street IP early too.
Early, yeah.
As well. So then we can kind of figure out how to complement, each other.
And what we try to, even with the houses and then to the streets as well, we try to create a well-rounded event where all the houses aren't, about slaughter and killing. There's fun houses, there's supernatural houses there. So we're trying to do a little bit of everything for the houses, and then that ekes over into the streets as well. We need different types. You have Hollywood, which is a little bit more gore and blood. You have the zombies in Zombieland, and then Vikings. So it's again trying to create an event that doesn't feel like the same. And every year we do everything new again. So we have to look back at last year and say, what did we do last year? And let's try not to repeat ourselves as much as possible. Although it's a horror genre, it's kind of hard. It's like how many different permutations can you make? So next, answer your question.
Want to just bounce back and forth?
Yeah.
We'll let you guys guide it and say, I got one over here.
So what IP have you guys been chasing after, like, that has something that's been on your mind other than obviously like Ghostbusters that you guys haven't been able to grab a hold of that you guys really want to do?
But to be honest, it is hard to not say Ghostbusters because that was
right, because that was one we've been chasing for so long.
Yeah.
I'll say, and to be honest, it's hard to say what we want to do because we also don't know what we're able to do. There, to be transparent, there are a lot of contracts that need to be signed and approaching, especially if it's IPs that we don't particularly own. It's other studios, etc. So I can't say anything we haven't done because we might be chasing that currently.
Right, yeah.
I don't want to be the one that screws up the deal, but that's the thing. But if it's out, let me put it this way: if it's popular and really touches a chord with the audience, it's probably something we've thought of. I mean, we've gone through everything. Basically every year we'll look at all the properties that are out there, and we'll make our sort of a wish list. Top 10 list. We'll even dig down to things that are
we
want
to do. Yeah, there's usually like that
Killer Clowns.
Killer Clowns is one
so
of those.
Cabin in the Woods, Killer Clowns. All those ones were like ones that didn't necessarily had like a niche feel to it. And then since we're
Ash vs. Evil Dead,
like
another one.
Ash vs. Evil Dead, we're like, can we really want to do that one? And
Yeah,
we're like, all right, fine.
Yeah, nobody was screaming for Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And then we did it in the Street Zone. It was like, holy crap, people really like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So, trust me, there are things out there that we would love to do. Some of them we are unable to do for whatever reason, and then others we just haven't got there yet. We haven't had the opportunity to do that. So, I don't think there's anything we haven't heard of out there that we haven't explored or brought up on our big giant wish list and stuff too.
Hey guys, thanks for the houses. Love what you do.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Have you ever considered having any of the actors from like Ghostbusters or Zombieland or anything like that come here like you did for Stranger Things if they got to do a tour of the house?
I mean, I would say usually whenever we work on a property, the invites kind of open. It's people are, man,
we would love.
They're working on, just like we were talking about, we start working on Halloween 30 in a week. But those guys too, like their lives and their projects and what they're working on, the way they're overlaid, their calendars they're pretty slammed.
Cool.
So it's fortunate when we can get someone in between stuff like we were able to.
Yeah, if we could get Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, but yeah,
just to hang out,
love that. Absolutely.
But we got the Chiodo brothers here. That was awesome, and
their enthusiasm's like infectious about.
Oh yeah, I love those guys. They're awesome. And then we got to talk to the Reitmans, father and son. That was pretty.
Oh yeah, Ivan and Jason. Yeah, and it's a scheduling thing too. A lot of those people that work on those things are West Coast people, so then it's logistically difficult just to get everybody out here to do that thing when they could also go to the USH thing, which is right in their backyard, and do whatever promotional things. So yeah, we would love to get some of those people out here.
Yeah.